Today on GoGAPH, I am creating a bioaccurate Indominus Rex. So without further ado, let's get started in creating a bioaccurate Indominus Rex. Sorry about that. We're gonna start off with the base genome. Well, I'm gonna be using Tyrannosaurus Rex DNA for the base genome. But you might be thinking, doesn't it already have a Tyrannosaurus Rex base genome? Yeah, it does, but I want to explain but it's probably in Gen T Rex based genome for the Indominus Rex in the movie. But in real life, I'm going to be using the accurate Tyrannosaurus. Well, with an accurate Tyrannosaurus for the base, it would provide a muscular build, enhanced mobility, great endurance, keen senses, powerful bite force, and enhanced intelligence. Yes, the real life T Rex was actually bulkier than the one in the movies in Jurassic World. And also, the real life T Rex was actually more agile than its Jurassic Park counterpart. Yes, you heard me. It had well developed hips that would help in rotating itself. Plus, it may have not been that fast, but it is very agile. Also, by the way, the T Rexes in the movie are able to keep up with the Jeep, but the real life version has better endurance. I mean, the T Rexes in the film are built for speed. And probably possibly endurance, but the real life Rex had better endurance. Also, by the way, T Rex had one of the best senses in the animal kingdom. T Rex had great sense of smell, hearing, and vision. You know why? Well, honestly, basically in the movies in Jurassic Park, they depict the T Rex to have very weak eyesight. But in re- but in real life, the T Rex actually had impressive eyesight. Also, by the way, in Jurassic Park, if the T Rex couldn't see the Alan when he was still, then why didn't she just use her sense of smell? Because usually most non-human animals don't rely on sight; they rely on smell and hearing. So yeah, Jurassic Park actually made a mistake. They made a mistake with the T Rex's senses. T Rex had one of the best senses in the animal kingdom. Also, they're known for their very powerful bite, around 12,800 psi. Plus, their enhanced intelligence would play a role here. Well, not primate level cognition. Well, T Rex may have been as smart as modern predatory birds. In my opinion, they would be as smart as modern predatory birds. Plus, T Rex was the most intelligent megatheropod, so yeah, my version of the realistic Indominus Rex would be having T Rex intelligence, not like the one you saw in the movies, which can just take which can just disable the tracker. Plus, also my hybrid cannot. My version of the Bioaccurate Indominus Rex can't do that because it has T Rex intelligence. And plus, it wouldn't be accurate for a dinosaur to carve their own tracker out. That's in fact no animal on earth actually knows can do it. So yeah, only a human can do it. I mean, the only animal that is capable of removing a tracker is a human being. Yeah. So yeah, my hybrid won't be able to carve a tracker out, but regardless, it is still intelligent, but not like an ape, elephant, or big cat. Not even it's not as intelligent as an ape, elephant, big cat, bear, or even a wolf. Basically, it would have intelligence comparable. In my opinion, T Rex would have been as smart as modern birds. So yeah, my hybrid would have been smart as modern birds. Well, I think we already talked about the base genome enough. So T Rex was a great contributor for the base genome, even though it was already in the OG Indominus base genome. Now on to the features. Well, my version of the Indominus Rex is gonna have horns and feathers. And for horns, I'm using Carnotaurus because it would improve the efficiency of like headbutting. Well, and for like feathers, I'm going to be using Uteranus DNAs because it will provide warmth in harsh climates, and I mean in very cold climates, and also feathers would also provide camouflage. Now onto the front limbs or arms and claws. Well, I'm going to be using Allosaurus for it is because Allosaurus had strong front arms and also had claws that are made for hooking and clutching. So yeah, my hybrid would also have arms as backup. Now, you want to see the design? Well, here you go. Tell me what you think of it in the comments. And now here are some two questions that actually are very interesting. Here are some very two good questions that actually need an answer. The first one is how would my version of the Indominus Rex hunt? Well, it would rely on stealth thanks to the Uteranus DNA, and it would also rely on its forearms for a good grip thanks to the Allosaurus DNA, and lastly finish its prey with one powerful bite. Well, that is actually very accurate of like how dinosaurs fight. Like it's not gonna like scratch. It's not gonna like slash its legs. Well, real life dinosaurs actually relied on their claws and their bites. That's how they fought. And also, how would it fight? Well, since it has Tyrannosaurus Rex intelligence, it would rely on throwing its weight and also biting. But since I've added Allosaurus DNA for the claws and of course its front and of course its arms. Well, it's also going to be gripping. Basically, this is well. I'm not talking about fights with like the other dinosaurs in this time. I'm talking about fights with like each individual of its species, and also, but most of the fights wouldn't really be like fighting to the death. There's usually just one retreating, and also because like you gotta think this correctly, a T Rex is a real life animal, and usually animals in the wild don't fight each other to the death. They usually usually one individual retreats, and there's no point of trying to kill it anymore because they know that because a wild animal knows that their survival is more important than just getting revenge. So yeah, and also plus. By the way, animals aren't very dumb. In the past, people thought that that animals were very dumb, but in reality, most animals on Earth are actually smart. Well, not in human level, but because like they usually fight for mates, territory, and self-defense. I don't know why in the past people thought animals were dumb. Well, people thought most animals were dumb. So yeah, my hybrid would actually be but my version of the realistic Indominus Rex would actually like survive in the wild. Would have a good chance of surviving in the wild, and it would also be more realistic. Well, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Well, adios.